For just 33 cents a day, you can help the TheCaliEffect through his struggles, his sorrow, and his hunger. And in return, you will get assigned Arc Lord Tristia, and you'll be very content with your life because you signed up through Patreon.
What? What kind of fucking advertisement is this? This some Save the Africa type shit?
I'm trying to save you.
Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of TheCaliEffect King of Games, and today I'm going to be telling you guys the 5 reasons why a nigga is on... That's not the video, is it?
No.
Okay. We're going to be talking about the top 5 most hated spell cards. Now, these cards tend to be hated by the general public, but I know there are some spell cards that you guys hate the most. Go ahead and put them down below in the description. Before we even get into the video, all you awesome players will be talking about these 2 spell cards. Dark hole in that subscribe button and Raigeki in the notification game because we just too strong. Without further ado, I present to you the top 5 most hated spell cards. Number 5 on this list. I have a story about this, alright? It's that grass looks greener. Because sometimes it isn't. Sometimes if it's my lawn, it is. Because I have rocks. So if you have grass and I have rocks, your grass is always greener. But the story behind it is, way back in the day, before I was with this cute thing I'm with right now, I had a little shouty on the side, right? You know what I mean? Then I had another shorty over there. So I left my shorty over there for shorty over there. And it turned out the shorty over there didn't want to see her without makeup. That's just how it works. And that's what that grass is greener means. Wait, no it doesn't. Not for this card text. What it does is you can send the cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard to match the number of cards your opponent has in their main deck. Now at 3, this card was a lot less hated because when you see your opponent play 60 cards, you can expect to see it. But that one motherfucker that opens that grass is greener in a 60 card deck, we're not even going to talk about the probabilities of opening 1 card in 60. It is a 1 in 60 chance. Well, you draw 5 cards, so math gets a little different. But still, opening, not opening left arm offering, not opening a way to search grass, opening that grass is greener. And add insult to injury, the person that went first used Desires, Trade-In, Card of Connaissance, Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Card of Demise, and everything else under the sun. And that grass player is just about to go in because ignorance. Number 4 on this list is actually a card we were just talking about. Card of Demise. I try to say it like Joey even though it's a Kaiba card. Doesn't make sense. But the old Card of Demise, the anime Card of Demise, the draw until you have 5 cards, and 5 turns later, you discard your entire hand. I mean, seriously, who thought of that? Like, what kind of joke is that? If that was a real card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, draw 5 cards and then discard your whole hand 5 turns, what would you do, Bird? Would there even be a 5th turn?
I don't think I'd make it past
3.
3.
There wouldn't even be a 2nd turn. Come on now. What Card of Demise does is draw until you have 3 cards. You cannot inflict damage to the rest of the turn. Also, you cannot special summon, which is still some pretty jokes of a requirement. More often than not, if you're playing Card of Demise, the cards you're going to be using is going to put your cards down to 0 cards in hand. You know, burn, trap decks, you just set your traps, you activate Card of Demise, you draw 3 more cards. You've already inflicted damage because you can just go to main phase 2 and activate Card of Demise. And seeing that you're probably playing so many traps, you probably didn't special summon to get where you're at, did you? Fucking bastard. Number 3 on this list is actually why we had to... Was that just 6? That was 6. Number 3 on this list is actually the reason why we had to delay this video. Look, just because I'm a T-Rex doesn't mean you ain't gotta give me... Look, stop, look. Oh, I wish you guys could see this. I wish y'all could see it. She just... Ugh. Anyways... Wavering Eyes is the reason why we had to redo this video. Why? Because it came off the forbidden list, and the other video had me rant and raving about how this card should never come off the list. Plot twist, it's somewhat healthy, but back in the day, Wavering Eyes was the card that everyone hated. Reason being is that pendulums were a lot more broken, and everybody played pendulums. So Wavering Eyes on top of a Wavering Eyes for Wavering Eyes typically meant game. Pendulum matchups genuinely, do you have the Wavering Eyes? Well, it looks like we can play Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now until one of us gets the Wavering Eyes. Then it becomes a Wavering Eyes fight. Unless you have Perform H Damage Juggler, but that's a totally different thing, especially after Damage Juggler was hit. Wavering Guys was problematic, or so problematic, that people had gentlemen's agreements to side out Wavering Guys. Gentlemen's agreements kind of went away when Patrick Hoban did that Dijin Locks thing, huh? Number 2 on this list. I love this card. I mean, I had a rap group named after this card. I knew another rap group named after this card. Delinquent Duo. Get it? Because it's 2 of them, and they're mad. They're bad. I just like the card. All right, so at the cost of 1,000 life points, because, oh, please don't take my life points. Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment aren't cards that I use on the regular. Oh, please don't take my life points. You get to discard a card from your opponent's hand. And then furthermore to add insult to injury, they get to discard a card from their hand because, you know, that's something that everybody has wanted to do. So literally, Delinquent Duo is saying this. I'm gonna fuck your bitch, right? And now I want you to pick a day for me to fuck your bitch again. I mean, if that hasn't gotten to you, how Delinquent Duo works and why it pissed off so many people, then I don't know what will. Maybe you just got an ugly girlfriend. Number 1 on this list is more broken than Harpy's Feather Duster. Heavy Storm is so problematic that Harpy's Feather Duster is off the OCG Forbidden list and Heavy Storm isn't. Why? Because niggas don't give a fuck. Niggas is savages nowadays. Back in the day, heavy storming your opponent, you know, you waited till you had no back row and you got rid of theirs and you OTK'd them. Now, nah, nigga, nah. You don't have to have back row. I heavy storm myself. I need these effects, homie. But seriously, way back in the day, Heavy Storm was the most hated card because of its relevancy, the reason that it stayed at 1, and it stayed during almost every format until around 2013, right? Something like that, yeah. 2013, 2014. The problem with this card is the numbers game. So you can set 2 back row and lose to a Heavy Storm. You can set 5 back row and lose to a Heavy Storm. You can set 1 back row and lose to a Mystical Space Typhoon. Literally, that's what pissed me off the most. Is that, oh, now, man, I'm like conservative. I don't need the Heavy Storm. 1 back row, Mystical Space Typhoon. You're like, nigga. Then you set 2 back row, then they go Heavy Storm. You go, nigga. Thank you guys so much. There are some honorable mentions in here. We almost forgot about that one. Judgment Day, Kaiser Coliseum, Forceful Century, Harpy's Feather Duster, Soul Charge, Pot of Desires. I mean, mainly Pot of Desires is on here because you activate Pot of Desires and then you banish all of the cards that you needed. Then you draw 2 more Pot of Desires. I mean, that people would hate Pot of Desires just for that reason. All of those are some really great cards, or really most hated cards. But I want you guys to post down below in the comment section, what are the top 5 cards that are spells that you guys hate the most? Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.